I just got an email from my granddaughter Damali that lifted my spirits. So let me share with you what I'm doing in June of this year for our ninth annual East River Jazz Fest that I'm inviting all of you to come. On the 7th at 6 o'clock at the newly opened Busboys and Poets Anacostia, we're going to present the Kent Miller Quartet in a program entitled In the Spirit of Bird that will celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of Charlie Parker, Yardbird, they used to call him. He's the reason why you hear a lot of the music that you hear. Either he wrote it or he influenced it with this genre called bebop. And the Ken Miller Group is a good representation of that music. So it begins at 6 o'clock. You're going to want to really get your tickets early. The space is real limited. The next day on the 8th at 1 o'clock at the Seafarers Yacht Club, they're going to do a jazz fish fry featuring Jamal Balbed, Elijah Jamal Balbed's group. And that goes from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 4 o'clock. Then we'll take a little bit of a break. And that evening at 7:30 at the React Radio on Martin Luther King Avenue in their backyard, we're going to have a Saturday night bebop / hip hop jam led by Herb Scott, who's of the Capitol Hill Jazz Jam, and spoken word artist LJM of Speakeasy. So it's a mixed genre of jazz and hip hop, and artists from both communities are welcome to come and have some fun and see what can happen. I'm quite sure there's going to be some mixing of the two genres in terms of the presentations as well. And that's at WEAC Radio at 1920 Martin Luther King Avenue. Begins at 7:30 in the evening. The next day at 3:30 in the afternoon, in our regular second Sundays jazz, we're doing something different. It's called the Vinyl Listening Event, and it's hosted by Earl Jackson of the Vinyl Listening Lounge Club, Vinyl LLC, where you bring your vinyl records to play and to talk about, share with the music on the records, and to actually share with the people there about why you like that particular piece of music or the musicians that are performing in the music. It's an interesting idea of how to socially get together and share what you like about the music, or also to learn what you don't know about the music. It's something that I can see us doing on a regular basis moving forward east of the river. The next day, or better still that evening, we're having a performance at I'm not sure where we're going to do it, at the Humfloor Gallery or at the Anacostia Arts Center. The Humfloor Gallery is a part of the Anacostia Arts Center. So we're going to be in one of those two spaces, and it's a hip-hop convergence featuring Terrence Nicholson. He goes by Sub-Z, who's a spoken word artist living east of the river, and Federico Pina, Marshall Keys, and Mark Prince. They've worked together on this type of presentation, and so it should be interesting. Again, it's mixing the genres, doing something that I think is necessary at this point, considering that both genres are very popular, and obviously hip hop is celebrated by a younger demographic, who we really want to, at least I'm interested in them being introduced to bebop and how it actually informed the beginnings of hip hop, and working on the preservation of bebop music is where I'm coming from. On Monday, the Peter Brown Project, led by bassist Peter Brown, is going to present something called Jazz Funk. Peter Brown is the brother of James Brown, an artist here in Washington who's recently moved down from New York. And as the title of the project, Jazz Funk represents, it's going to be some funky music from a jazz perspective. And this brother is a bassist. I can't wait to hear what he's got to say. And that's going to be at the Anacostia Playhouse on Monday, the 10th of June at 7:30 in the evening. The following evening at, again, the Anacostia Playhouse at 7:30 in the evening, we're going to present our very first East River Jazz Youth Ensemble that will have been tutored by pianist Bill Washburn, who is a Ward 8 resident, East of the River resident, and veteran jazz pianist. Some people actually think of his style similar to that of Thelonious Monk. Anyway, will have worked with an ensemble of young jazz musicians to present this very first East River Jazz Youth Ensemble presentation. Again, we're looking forward to many more of those presentations by this group of young people and others as well. Then on Saturday, June the 15th, Kenny Rittenhouse Quartet. He has him on trumpet, Vince Evans on piano, Pepe Gonzalez on bass, and J.C. Jefferson Jr. on drums. They're going to do something called bebop, R&B, and beyond. So again, they're mixing the genres again. It's real interesting what's happening with this series. And it'll be outdoors at the Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens on Anacostia Avenue Northeast, 1550 Anacostia Avenue Northeast. It's a free event. It's co-sponsored by the Friends of the Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens and the National Park Service. And we end up on Sunday, June the 16th, which is also Father's Day. So it's an excellent opportunity for you folks to bring your fathers out to a Jazz Vespers service featuring the John Lampkin Sacred Jazz Quintet. They're out of Baltimore, and they're going to be presenting over at the Faith Presbyterian Church on South Capitol Street at 4161 South Capitol Street, Southwest. John Lampkin has been performing Vesper services for quite a number of years, mostly in Baltimore. So you get an opportunity to see what this veteran of music, an educator, he's Dr. John Lampkin actually, and he taught for many years at the Maryland University Eastern Shore. See what he has to bring. And I think it's a wonderful way to conclude a series celebrating the Creator in one of his houses. I look forward to you joining us. We're going to have an all-access patrons offering that will invite you to participate in that way. It will support what we're doing, obviously, and that's it. Just come listen to this music and support what we do. I really appreciate those of you who have in the past, and I look forward to meeting those of you in the future who will be supporting us. Peace.